Namaha Harihi Om Shrutismruti Alayam Karunalayam Namami Shankaram Lokashankaram Smrutibhischa Najayate Mriyate Va Nadatte Kasyachit Papam. So those ideas should flash in your mind. As we chant those quotes, those ideas must flash in your mind. That is how the word and the meaning go together. Yatha kashasthito nityam kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi. I notice a printing mistake there. Dirgham should not be there. Kshetrajñam must be there. Okay. Nasattanna saduchyate anaditvan nirgunatvat. Yeah, that is the verse. Paramatma, I am Paramatma. This Atma, this is Supreme Atma. Parama Atma. Supreme Atma. You should not make it Param Atma, because Param Napumsakalinga doesn't fit with Atma. Samasa you have to make. If you have to say separately, you have to say Paraha Atma. There are usages like that, in which case the Visarga will go. So there are places where Shankara says Para Atma. You can say that. Or Paramatma. Okay? And the Supreme Self. The Supreme Self is not some other self, yourself only. So why do you call Supreme Self? Because you take so many things as the self. For a smoke addict, the cigarette is the self. It is like that. Everything is taken as self. And there are usages, you are myself. Like, you are myself, you are not different from me. Like that they say. So, when they believe that they love each other, they say, oh, you are no different from my own self. Like that they say, when they believe they love each other. Then when the beliefs change, then something else is said. Therefore, so there is a thing called Supreme Self. We are obliged to say that. So, like pure ghee in India. You need not say it in America. So here we are obliged to say pure ghee, pure milk, like that. So anyway, Paramatma, the Supreme Self. So you look at the body, that is not the self. Whatever you are looking at, how can it be the self? Who looks, that is the self. That is one reason. Another reason, if you are the body, you will not be able to look at the body. You should know that. The fact that you are able to look at the body proves that you are not the body. Because if you are the body, then the body doesn't become an object for you, but it becomes all the time. Therefore, you are not the body. Like that you move within. It is the backward movement. It is not progress. It is a regress. Progress in samsara is a regress in spirituality. So something, I don't know. So here it is a backward movement. So nivritti, it is not pravritti. Therefore you move within. Then the mind, it is always known to you. I already explained so much that you can watch your mind. It can be made into a game. See, when people are alone, I mean they are lonely, not alone, lonely. And they are very unhappy because they are lonely. Now what they do is, they play a game. What they call, is it called some selfie or some such game? They with cards they play. Solitary game. Solitaire. That is the right word. So you play with yourself. And I have seen one or two elderly people doing that. I have seen they are amused also. They engage themselves and entertain themselves without bothering others. So similarly, you play with the mind, don't play with cards. You play with the mind. You can do that. You watch the mind. Try to understand the movement of mind. You try to understand. So mind tried to tell me, he is your adversary, that person is plotting against you, this person is conspiring against you. Like that the mind tried to tell me. Then I told the mind, hey, shut up. You want to make me a dog in the mirror house? I don't want to be a dog in the mirror house. Will you shut up? Then the mind took a back seat. This is the game. So you can play that game. It is a very amusing game, watching the mind. The point that I am trying to make is, mind is not the self. That is all I wanted to tell. So that which is aware of the mind, that is the self. And that self is timeless. That is where I left yesterday. That self is timeless. You see the difference between thinking versus awareness. While thinking, you are in the net of time. You see, you are in a Vedanta class, that UPADESHA SASHARI. You cannot remain in your lower level. You have to come up a few notches up. You have to come. No, we are accustomed to some beliefs and some statements. You please say them only. Then you don't need Upadesha Sahasri for that. So you have to lift yourself up. No, we never talked about time and timelessness. Now you talk. Talk now. Nobody told us about getting into the net of time. Now I am telling you, come, understand. It's a challenge. So live up to the challenge. So when you are thinking, you are in the net of time. You look at the dynamics of your thinking. Either it is the past or it is the future. And what you call present is sandwiched between the past and future. In fact, a poet said, the past flows into the present and covers the entire present and then flows further into the future. It is all the past only. What you call future is also the past. It is all the past. Nothing like future. It is something like a cabinet, or what they call almirah. There are drawers, or there are places below and above. This is below, this is middle, this is above. Right? That is how the mind is. Mind is like a cabinet with the 3 levels. This is past, this is present, that is future. All the 3 are mind only, and all the mind is past. All the 3 are past only. There is nothing like future. You are imagining. Anyway, so you are in the net of time as you are thinking. Now rise above thinking by making the thinking mind an object. Be aware, be aware. Now you have stepped out of time into the timelessness. That is your home. Yesterday I have described, and maybe we looked into it in the meditation also. That is anaditvat. Now you have stepped out of the net of time and you abide in your swarupa, which is timeless. And also nirguna. You are not saguna, you are nirguna. You see, if it is saguna, the gunas alter, and therefore it becomes vyaya. It gets expended. But if it is nirguna, it remains the same. It is like if you put a lump of camphor and a piece of stone side by side and come back after one day, the lump of camphor will vanish. The piece of stone remains the same. That is the difference between saguna and nirguna. Saguna, the gunas vanish, they change and vanish. Whereas nirguna, there is nothing to vanish. Therefore, you abide in that awareness absolute and look at the body. That is tamoguna. Look at the prana, the sense organs and organs of action. Everything is called prana. They are called pranaha, bahuvachanam. Prana is indriya. Prana means Indriya. That is the meaning, okay? So, Ekadasha Pranaha. They are Indriyas. Ekadasha Rudra is Ekadasha Prana only. That is Ekadasha Rudraha. You have to study some Upanishads. In Brihadaranyaka, there is a section, a dialogue between Yajnavalkya and another Maharshi. They all ask him questions. The Maharshi asks, what is Ekadasha Rudraha? He says, Ekadasha Prana eva. The prana are the sense organs of action and the mind. They are the Ekadasha Rudraha. Why do you call them Rudraha? Because Rodayanti, they make people cry. People cry because of organs of action, sense organs and the mind. Because of them only they cry. These 11 organs, either combined or severally, make us cry. That's why they are called Rudraha. Anyway, so that prana, that is the Rajoguna. Then the mind, thinking mind, that is Sattva Guna. But you have stepped out of the three, and therefore you are Nirguna. So Nirgunatvat. Therefore you are not going to perish. Avyayaha. You are the imperishable. You are the changeless and hence imperishable. Where is this Atma? This kind of a glorious Atma, Anadi, Nirguna, Avyaya, where is it? Sharirasthopi. It is in this body only. This is what Mahatmas say, the infinite embedded in the finite. That is what it is. The infinite embedded in the finite. Is it possible? Possible. You look at yourself. It is made possible by Maya. Logically not possible, but Mayika possibility is always there. Whatever is not possible by logic is made possible by Maya. Aghatita ghatana patiyasi Maya. Therefore it is possible. It is made possible by Maya. Therefore Sharirasthopi. Like Akasha is infinite, but it is sitting inside the pot. Aisa hota hai. So, somebody said, Sarva Vedanta Siddhantaha Nandangane Kredati. Something like that. Krishna Karnamrutam somewhere. So, the vision of all the Upanishads, that is the Parabrahma, infinite, is sitting in the dust before Nanda's house. That is Sri Krishna. Like that, some poet said. It is possible. It is possible. He is made possible, you know. Therefore, Sharirasthopi Kaunteya, hey Arjuna. Now, this Atma, is it acting or not? Na karoti. It doesn't act. Na lipyate. It is not contaminated by karma phala. That is the idea. Because karanam is there, you know, na karoti, na bhungte, ityartha, na karta, na bhokta. That is the meaning of lipyate. Lepa is always karma phala lepa. Doing is karma, of karma. Lepa is of karma phala. Lepa, you know what is lepa? Lepa is some castor oil is sitting in a bottle. You take some of it with both hands and put on your head and apply to your face. That is the lepa. You want to do it, you are welcome to do it. Suppose somebody says, no, don't do it. Who are you to say to us, don't do it? We want to do it. Okay, go ahead and do it. If you are so fond of castor oil putting on the whole day, do it. You see, in Trijata Swapnam, Ramayana, Ravanasura drinks castor oil. Okay, if he wants to drink castor oil, go ahead and drink. People, instead of understanding, they resist. That is the problem, you know. Chalo. Therefore, you don't do anything. You don't do anything. Then somebody asked me, are you not talking now? I said, I don't feel that I am talking. Talking to hai. Talking is there. But I do not have the feeling that I am talking. Suppose I have the feeling I am sitting up. Gaddi is a throne. I am sitting on a throne. And some people, these Indian gurus, you have to see the thrones to believe it. Did you see some of the thrones? Huh? It will be made, our friends made it a bit big out of their own enthusiasm, and also to make it a bit more convenient to me. And then there is another Swami who is even elder to me. This is how it came, this throne. But some of these gurus, they make thrones with gold. And with the help of that throne, Narendra Modi ji can make a home for a poor family. He is making homes for poor people. Instead of this throne, which is made with gold and all that, they can make one full home, big home, normal home to poor families. India is a poor country, no? Anyway, so the point is, so if I feel that I am a guru, gold, throne, and you are all sishyas, then I also feel that I am talking. It all goes like that. Are you able to follow the point? Therefore, I do not feel I am talking. You think that I am talking. I do not feel that I am talking. There is talk going on, that's all. So I tell you, do I talk? I don't think so. I hear the statement, I talk. Now I heard the statement, I talk. Therefore, am I hearing I talk or am I talking? So, you got the point? Therefore, I am the witnessing awareness. I do not feel that I talk. I do not have any objection to the conventions of your language. Like you say, I talk, you talk. Those are the conventions. I work, I come, I go. These are the conventions. I don't have any objection to that. But I submit that these conventions distort reality. They distort the reality. That's why there is not so much of I and me in Mahatma's speech. Because even the speech can be distorting of the reality. Therefore, a very more accurate way, instead of saying I come, I work, I talk, etc., the more accurate way would be, there is talking, there is working, there is coming, there is going, like that. So that is a more accurate way. So, therefore, it is wrong to believe that I, the real self, is doing all these things. Now, if you do karma with a desire for the result and with the conviction that you are the doer, is your mind becoming pure or impure? You have to think about it. Therefore, and I will give you a point to ponder. You believe wrongly that doing and being are identical. They are not. Doing is time bound. Being is timeless. They are not identical. Doing is Prakriti. Being is Purusha. They are not identical. There is a Purusha, Prakriti, or Prakriti, Purusha, Viveka. That is the 13th chapter. This sloka is from 13th chapter only. The doing and being are not identical. Suppose you are practicing medicine. You say, I am a doctor. That means your being is getting confused with your doing. Suppose I say I am a teacher. Means my being is getting confused with the doing. Not my doing, the doing. They are not identical. They are different. That Viveka. You see, it is the mind and the body which move and change, not the Atma. Okay? So, when the mind and body move and change, that is called action. That is called doing. That is the Prakriti. And that is not Atma. You see, one mind moves and makes other minds move. One body moves along with the mind and then makes other bodies move. Action causes further action that goes on. Whereas I do not act nor cause others to act. I do not cause others to act. I do not act. Who causes others to act? The one who acts causes others to act. That is the ideologue. Whereas I do not act, nor I cause others to act. Naiva kurvan na karayan. Gita Parayan ka nahi hai. Gita is not for recitation. Gita is, it should shake you in every step. Every word must shake you. And the right word at the right time, right expression at the right time should come to the mind. That is called sadhana. Sadhana is not take a half a dozen malas and put 5 in the neck and 1 in the hand and do something with it. So that is okay. Go ahead. If that takes you forward, that is fine. But you have to move forward, you know. You don't want to move forward, you want to stick to that only, then there is no further movement. Naiva kurvan na karayan. You don't do, not make others do. This is the ideologue who is doing and making others do. I don't do anything like that. I means Atma. I neither act nor cause others to act. I am aware. I am timelessly aware of what is going on. This is what is called sharirasthopi kaunteya nakaroti nalipyate. This is what the teacher tells the student. Dear son, that is your swarupa. Then what else the teacher says? Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. So that is what the teacher says. So the verse is Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. This is 13th chapter. 13th chapter is the zenith of Gita vision. And it is the toughest chapter to teach. Lengthy also. Lengthy also. So, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. See, there is in you a principle, a reality. There is in you a reality. It is in you. Not that it comes, visits and goes. It is, yesterday God appeared to me in the dream. Means what? He is not in you. He is not around you also. And in the waking state also you don't find any hint of the God. Suddenly in the dream state for a few moments from somewhere he came and appeared before you and went away. ये वेदांत है. So I don't know what to say about it. It is all superstitious world. People want superstitions only. They don't want teaching. टीचिंग को रेसिस्ट करते हैं, सुपरस्टिशन को सिर पे चढ़ाते हैं. क्या बोले? Therefore, तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम. Bhagavan is in you. Tiштhantam. You should know the word तिष्ठन्. Sthak gati nivartau. So Panini. So he is firmly fixed in you. That is तिष्ठन्तं. Firmly fixed in you. Juhotyadi. So that's why you find the abhyasa. Firmly fixed in you. And what is he doing in me? What is he doing? He is commanding and controlling, antaryami, of all the functions. Like what? Ekadasha, the 11 functions which are obvious to you, and also so many other functions that are not so obvious. Like the heart, the blood circulation, the digestion, and then cell functions. Within the cell there are many functions. Like the cell manufactures proteins, and those functions, all that. All those functions somebody must organize. If you enter into a factory, like a somewhat a relatively big factory, so So many things are happening at the same time, so many things. And so there is always somebody who is supervising all that. So similarly, there is the master supervisor. So in you, Parameshwaram. And not only in you, this is the meditation. The Parameshwara, this is the meditation. You see, there used to be one Mahatma called Swami Tatvavidananda, San Francisco. And so, when people go to him to meet him, he used to encourage them, you meditate, come meditate. No, we want to talk with you. You can talk by all means, but first meditate. Okay, what should we meditate? You look at yourself. Look at yourself and see. So this body-mind functions are all being inspired by that higher power called Ishvara, who is in your heart. You visualize like that. You don't need a form and all that. The meditation doesn't require forms. This is not about forms. If you are so keen about forms, then don't bother about meditation. Go to a temple, there are forms and you worship that. But here, you know, the formless is what you meditate upon. And so you know there is that higher power in you which is inspiring all these functions. And that is Ishvara. And now, having visualized that, now you visualize. The same power, the same Ishvara is in the hearts of all other people around me, all people who are around me, and also in the hearts of all the humanity, the entire humanity. Not only the humanity, the same Ishvara is in the hearts of all living beings, animals, birds, etc. You contemplate upon that. It purifies your mind. Then you may think of a few enemies, and the same Ishvara is in the hearts of the enemies also. The nididhyasanam, the meditation, will purify your mind like no other thing. And so, therefore, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthantam parameshwaram. The bhutas die, but the Parameshwara doesn't die. It is like the pot breaks, but the space that is inside the pot will not break. You see, you are breathing. You are breathing. When you are breathing, you should understand that you are partaking of the breath, right? You are partaking of the wind around you, the air. You are partaking. So, what you are partaking from is infinite. The air or the wind is infinite. It is not some small air that you are partaking. Like people, sick people sometimes, unfortunately sick people, they carry a cylinder with them. On two wheels, along with the cylinder they come. And one nose thing. This kind of illnesses, we don't see them in India. Because in India, who will give you cylinder and all that? Go to jump somewhere. No cylinder. The hospital will have 2 or 3 of them. A big hospital. So there are some illnesses that are exclusively meant for well-to-do people. They are not meant for people like you and me. We don't get them. Only some special people are there, they will get them. And so for them, they have to partake of the air from the cylinder. We don't do that. We partake from the infinite. So you inhale and exhale. Both are partaking only. Because inhaling is as important, exhaling is as important as inhaling. So you inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. You visualize that you are partaking of the infinite. Infinite is God. You are partaking of the infinite. And very interestingly, the same infinite, all other living beings are partaking of. So this is how you connect yourself with the whole. Therefore, so as you are inhaling, the infinite is yours. The infinite is coursing through your body. The love and beauty of the infinite is in you. You have to contemplate. Therefore, so you see, all in the same way, like the wind which is infinite is yours, The love and beauty of the infinite is yours. All knowledge is mine. All knowledge. Wherever it is mine. All power, mine. And so, all happiness belongs to me. I am happy when I see others happy. I don't want to be happy by being myself happy. That is not a good route for happiness. I am spontaneously happy when I see people happy, when I see others happy. You don't need to be happy yourself. There is no other way to be happy also. This is how you find the oneness in all life forms. The one truth which is in you is in all. You have to think in a united way. You should not think in fragmentary way all the time. That becomes an addiction. If you think in a fragmentary way, it becomes addiction. So I think they all must be happy. But do they think that I am happy, that I should be happy? If they don't think that I should be happy, why should I think that they should be happy? This is called fragmentary thinking, Okay, you wait then. Wait till they become wise and they also think of good of you. You wait. And when they become wise, when they also think good of you, then you can think good of them. You wait then. So, you see, I tell you, you look at yourself. What is it that makes the hair grow? And what is it that makes the blood flow? Is it the same it or different things? It is the same power. Not me, not the ego. Ego cannot do anything. Ego is a shadow, it is what it can do. Therefore, it is the same is it that makes the hair grow. The same is it that makes the blood flow in the veins. The same is it that gives you the power to speak, that gives the power to see. And therefore, that is the divinity. That is the God. That God is in your eyesight. That God is in your speech, faculty of speech. Therefore, in your hearing, there is God. The divinity is present. And the divinity is the real self. That is the Paramatma. So, the same divinity, in fact, you are full of the divinity. Because in your seeing, it is there. In your hearing, in your breathing, in your flow of blood, in every aspect of this entity, the divinity is there. So, shining brilliantly. And interestingly, the same divinity is there. It appears in your friend, in your brother, your relation, and in your enemy also. The same divinity is present in your enemy also. That's why when you feel divinity, there are no enemies. When you feel the egoity, then you have friends and enemies. So at the personal level, there are enemies. When you feel the egoity, you have enemies or adversaries at the personal level. And then you identify with a collective. A collective means you expand the ego to include a few other things. This is how the ideologues work. You identify with the collective, like religious identity. What does it mean? Religious identity, what does it mean? So the researchers say there was no religious identity before 500 AD. There was a religiosity, but not religious identity. You see, Gita was taught by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. Now you mean to say Arjuna and Krishna was the Hindus while the teaching was going on? When the teaching was going on, the word Hindu was not there. Not only that, any such identification, if not this word, maybe some other word, no. No such a religious identity was not there. There are a few identities that humans have in the social life, and the religious identities is one of them. And that came after 500 AD. That was not there earlier in the Indian society or elsewhere also. It came after 500 AD. So, you see, suppose before the advent of Abrahamic faiths, the religious identities were not there. These they are cultural things like Hindu, the Vedic Dharma. It is not a religious identity. Anyway, that is a different topic. Therefore, only when you feel as ego, you have enemies, adversaries, etc. That is what I was saying, like the dog in the mirror house. I always remember that. I don't want to live like that dog in the mirror house. No, I don't want to live like that. And I suggest, don't be like the dog in that mirror house. It is extremely painful. Don't live like that. It is up to the others. They want to be nice to you, or they want to plot against you. They want to... So there are some good, nice, very clever people. While you are standing and looking here and there, he will be making a hole behind you in the ground. There are people like that. So it is up to them. Let them dig up a few holes here and there, no problem. And if we fall into a hole, we will get up and come out also. But I am not going to live like a dog in the mirror house. No, not for me. Let them do whatever they like. They want to practice hostility, God bless them, let them. They want to practice enmity, God bless them, let them. So, we don't want to live like the dog in the mirror house. We are willing to see, not willing, it is the truth. There is no choice there. We see the same divinity in the so-called enemy also. You see, only when you shut your eyes to divinity, that you see, then you see the foe. Till then you don't see the foe. I remember the anecdote of Sri Ramana Maharshi. He was living in a cave, and then people pulled him down. So he was living there and begging for food. Then somebody, when Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni said, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, this and that, and then the people, the devotees, prevailed upon him. He also became old by then. Prevailed upon him to come down. So he too found coming down, going up for bhiksha, coming down, it is becoming difficult. So he came down. And there was some land there in those days. Now land also is not available. In those days land was there. Some land was there. British was ruling. So these people got hold of that land. And so they made a ashram. He did not make any ashram. They made the ashram. They think they are making for him. He did not need an ashram. Only they needed for themselves. Therefore say we are doing for Guru Maharaj. So these Guru Maharaj people are very... So they say they are doing for the Guru. So a person is making coffee. Hey, what are you doing? Preparing coffee for the Guru Maharaj. How come your Guru Maharaj drinks this much coffee? In fact, Guru Maharaj drinks 50 ml. He cannot drink more than that. That is all he can drink. He is making 2 liters of it. So just aisa naam bolte hai. Therefore, they made an ashram for themselves and he was living normally. Then one of them, he filed a writ petition against Ramana Maharshi, saying that this land belongs to me. And the papers came, the summon or notice. Ramana Maharshi looked at it and put it aside. He did not respond to it. Then the judge said, if he doesn't appear, I may be obliged to pronounce judgment in absentia. Somebody came and told Ramana Maharshi. He said, let him. You'll have to walk out. I'll walk out. I'll go back to there. Then the judge, he's a British judge. They were British judges were known to be very rigorous in the implementation of justice. That was how it was called. The name given to the bench, it is called Queen's Bench. Once it is Queen's Bench, you call it that, no injustice should be done. That is the rule. That is the divine dictum. They follow it as much as possible, I suppose. They may make mistakes, but that is how it, that is the ambience that prevails. And so the judge, he thought, I will give a chance for this Mahatma to say his viewpoint before pronouncing the judgment. I want to hear from him. Without that, I don't want to pronounce judgment. Then the prosecution people told he won't come. He won't come. No, he has to defend himself. He won't defend himself. That is against the very tenet of Atma Jnanam, that you don't defend yourself. What is there to defend? Nayam hantina hanyate. They won't defend. Then the judge formed a committee of 3 people and sent them to talk with Ramana Maharshi and record. So they came and asked for audience. He said, yes, come and talk. They asked him, is this ashram yours? Ramana Maharshi said, no. How it came into existence? All these students and devotees, they put it up. And if somebody has put a reputation, do you know? Yes, I know. Now, does it belong to him? I don't know. You go and ask him. Suppose he claims it, what will you do? I will go away. Would you contest the petition? No, I won't contest. They reported. The judge dismissed the case. That's why the Ramanashram is in that place till today. So, what I mean to say, suppose I contest the case, I become like the dog in a mirror house. Suppose you fight, you become a group and fight another group. That is the same situation. Instead of a single ego, you are dealing with a collective ego. One religion pitted against another religion. It is one collective. There is nothing like a religion. There is only one religion, the true religion. A belief is not the true religion. Once you have one belief, don't you see there are so many other beliefs around? Don't you see the difference? It is always one belief against the other belief. Therefore, that is not divinity. Therefore, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishthantam. So you have to understand that you are having the divinity as your bedstead. That is what it makes you see, that is what makes you hear, etc. And that is what pervades all. And that you see. One who sees this, that person alone sees. Yaf pashyati sapashyati. That person alone sees the truth, no one else. So Shankara makes a few nice comments here. Now you say saha pashyati, only that person sees. Shankara says sarvopi lokaha pashyati. All people also see. Who is not seeing? Maybe a blind man is not seeing, but most of the people are seeing. Why do you say yaf pashyati sapashyati? Only that person sees. So only the one who sees the same divinity in all, that person alone sees. What do you mean? That person alone sees. What about all others? They are also seeing. So Shankara says, no, it is not like that. So it is said, there are a few patients, the glaucoma patients or cataract patients, in an eye hospital, 100 of them in a ward. Then the ward is a wide open ward, a spacious ward with big windows and glass windows, etc. Now the sun, the Ashtami, the crescent moon is rising. All of them see 2 moons. All of them see 2 moons. All of them without exception. And then the doctor walks in. He sees 1 moon. Okay? Now who is seeing? Yapashyati sapashyati. Who is the seeing person? The doctor alone sees. What about them? They don't see. Why? While seeing, they don't see. So that is the vision. So Shankara says, eva mihapi, that is the illustration. Exactly in the same way. So Atma, which is undivided, yaha pashyati, that person alone sees, when compared with vibhakta aneka atma viparita darshibhyo vishishyate. All these people are viparita darshi. They see the untruth. They don't see the truth. And they see Atma divided into many. So when compared with all these people, this multitude of people, only one person sees the truth of undivided Atma, and therefore it is indeed well said that only he sees. All other people, itare pashyantaha api na pashyanti. All other people seeing also, they don't see. Why? Viparita darshitvat, aneka chandra darshivat. Like all these vardis who see two moons. Similarly, all these people, these great thinkers and worldly people, the dualistic religious people, all these people, very worthy people with a lot of name and fame and all that, so they don't see even while seeing. Yaf pashyati sa pashyati. Vedanta is not about acquiring a few nice sounding ideas. That is not Vedanta. There is a process called ideation. Means something is said in a very eloquent way and you form a nice idea about it. That is called ideation. I will try some of it sometime as an example. Therefore, so Vedanta is not about ideation. So you pick up all the correct ideas, nice ideas, but you remain a bag of bones yet. So that means Vedanta is not ideation. Vedanta is about seeing. Seeing. Pashyati sa pashyati. You have to see. Like in daylight you see things clearly. Like that you must be able to see the truth. That is the real seeing. Dear son, this is how you have to understand. That is the teacher saying to the student. Next. Uttamah purushastvanyaha. So when you say Uttamah Purusha, we remember Bhandara, because that is the 15th chapter, you know. We recite 15th chapter before lunch. Somebody asked me, why we recite 15th chapter, sir? Like that, I have to give explanation for it. Now where from I will bring explanation? Because all these people are reciting. By the time I realized what is going on, they are reciting 15th chapter. And so I followed suit. Because if all are reciting and if I sit without reciting, they will point out finger at me. Therefore, to merge in the crowd, I too started chanting 15th chapter. What do you lose? They give you nice food as a reward for chanting 15th chapter. So I did not answer that question. Anyway, because if you answer it, then somebody gets hurt by that. You cannot say anything, you know. All belief systems fixated. Now you cannot talk anything. So, anyway, therefore this is the 15th chapter. Always connect association. 15th chapter means you remember food. And also you remember, is the time for lunch already? Or why don't you serve lunch? We are chanting 15th chapter, something like that. Uttamah purushastvanyaha. You see, everything is Purusha. In this creation, this word Purusha you have to get first. In this creation, there is no Jada. Everything is Chetana. Okay? Like a human being, mostly Jada only. Human being, is he not Jada? Suppose a human being weighs, let us say, hopefully 75 kg. How much of it is Jada and how much of it is Chetana? You please tell me. All the 75 kg is Jada.